One thing you'll know about the Ape Father, I'm not a person who likes to brag. I am not a person who tries to come off like a show off. But like for instance, there's a hater of mine, his name is Crypto Fan. This guy basically, in little to no words, he's calling me a loser. He says I've accomplished nothing in my life, whatever it is. I live off my mother's pension. I took my mother's house. I live off my father's inheritance. Okay. Basically, he's calling me a loser. Now, you have to understand something about the Ape Father. When someone attacks me, I attack back. I have to prove my case. Now, you may interpret this as me being a show-off. You may interpret this as me being, a jerk-off. But all I'm simply doing is when someone calls me a loser, I fight back. If someone called you a loser, you would fight back. Okay, so he claims, like I said, I live off my mother's pension. I live off my father's inheritance. I've accomplished nothing in my life. Let's talk about the facts, okay? So I wrote, this is on my community page, by the way. I said, for all the haters who say I live off my mother's pension, my father's pension, and I put the laugh out loud face. Really? How do you explain I had an office at the Empire State Building when I was 21 years old? I was surrounded by the most successful lawyers, businessmen, and entrepreneurs in New York City, and I was only 21 years old, okay? I purchased a $503,000 house in Jackson, New Jersey when I first got married to my wife in 2005. Okay, who does that? Okay, when they first got married. I had an in-ground pool. I had a football-sized backyard. I had everything you could imagine in this house. I sold it for a profit of $50,000. Okay, I was a sales manager at Hilton for several years. I was a sales manager at City Search for several years. I also had a real estate license. I did real estate sales. Altogether, my sales experience is over 20 years in sales experience. When I was working at Hilton, I've earned commissions that were $5,000 on the low end to over $10,000. When I worked in City Search, I signed up the biggest accounts. I was the only person in the history of IAC who actually signed the Plaza Hotel. $40,000 a month I brought it in revenue, not to mention some of the most prestigious, biggest hotels and restaurants in New York City. Okay. I won, are you ready? $250,000 in the New York lottery. I got lucky. Happened once before. I'm looking to do it now in Jersey. Okay. I started a tutoring business in Staten Island, of which I invested $75,000 of my own money, okay, and I made a major profit on it when I sold it, okay. I owned $1.8 million worth of oceanfront land that was zoned for a hotel and a casino development. I was dealing with the largest developer in Florida, whose father was similar to Fred Trump. I was living like a multimillionaire for 1 year. This guy had me on his private jet. I had a whole floor in the Ritz-Carlton in San Juan. I had a $50,000 marker, which I was gambling with. I was eating $400, $500 dinners a night, living like a multi-millionaire. At the time, I bought a Mercedes, okay? It was the E400. It was a AMG package. I paid for it in cash, $70,000, okay? Then, on top of that, I bought a Tahoe, brand new. I bought a Pacifica, and I had the Chrysler 300. What happened was, when I bought the house here, because now here's the proof to you, Jennifer, did I not sell the Tahoe, which I used for a down payment for this house?
Yes, you did.
Please come here closer. Okay, because they're under the impression I'm getting all of this money from my father.
Yeah.
Okay, I sold my Tahoe. How much did I got? I got something like over $50,000.
Yes.
I got $50,000. I owed Bitcoin at the time. I sold some Bitcoin. I came up with $150,000 down payment. No money from my father. I put the house in my mother's name for personal family business. You know, my wife is dealing with what she's dealing with. God bless her. I love her. Okay, so now let's continue. I'm not done yet. They think I'm done. Okay. I own close to 3,500 shares of AMC. I own close to 60 shares of GameStop, Currently, I own one share of Amazon, looking to buy one share next week. I'm going to buy it. Plus, I'm going to also buy more AMC and GameStop. I'm in the process of selling a timeshare for $40,000. I have over 250,000 equity in my home. Okay, I just don't. You think I have no monthly income? I never said to you I'd have no monthly income. I have residual commissions that I have earned over many years of sales that still to this day come in. Okay, they still come in because as people are making payments on their timeshares and as people are making payments on their advertisement, I receive residual monthly commission checks that I built up over a 20-year sales career. I do have a monthly income. Okay. I have approximately like around $10,000 to $15,000 worth of jewelry. I bought my children. Yeah, I even talk about this because hey, it's worth the money. $10,000 to $15,000 worth of games, worth of game systems. You all make fun of my minivan. My minivan is worth almost $20,000. I purchased it in 2018 for $45,000. Now, here's the big one. My father, who you keep thinking I'm living off of, he left his money to his grandchildren. There's over $500,000 in trust for the grandchildren. When they turn 21 years old, that's their money. This is not my money. I cannot touch it without court approval. I have to go to the courts and I would have to give them good reason why I'm touching that money. I have to say it's for educational purposes for my children. It has to benefit my children. So I hope this puts all of this to rest. It probably won't because the haters will continue to hate. They'll continue to break my balls. I have worked many, many years. I have accumulated money. I've invested money. And I did it all myself with no help from my father, with no help from my mother, with no help from nobody. And guess what? I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to become a success on YouTube. That's not going to be from any help from my father or any help from my mother. It's going to be because of my hard work. I'm going to be a success at AMC. I'm going to be a success at GameStop. I'm going to be a success at Amazon. I'm going to be a success with my gold. I personally own over 200,000 of gold and silver, and I will continue to add to that. I am doing this all myself. Now, once again, God bless my father. May he rest in peace in heaven. He chose to leave his money to his grandchildren. They did not have a good marriage, my parents. He did not leave my mother 1 cent. You see this? Look at this. On God, on Jesus Christ in heaven, my father did not leave my mother nothing. So yeah, everyone's got this thing where she inherited my father's money and I'm living off of it. My mother's pension in the Board of Education is less money than I have to pay to maintain my pool and maintain my hot tub. Like I give you an example. I have to pay almost 200, like about $140 a week, okay, to have them, they're opening up the pool soon. For them to service my pool and my hot tub is more money than my mother's pension. So that is it. I don't want to prove myself anymore. Think what you want. I am a made man who did it myself, and that's the bottom line.